Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be reviewing another movie. This is going to be for the movie Up in the Air, which stars George Clooney, Vera Farmiga, Anna Kendrick, Jason Bateman, Danny McBride, um, and Zach Galifianakis, and a small role for Zach Galifianakis, and Melanie Melanie Linsky and Amy Morton. So yeah, that's basically it for the cast. Before I begin, however, 10-second spoiler warning as usual for those who have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already. Stop the video, go check it out, and then come back here and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Okay, so 10 seconds are up. So for those who have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already, please don't comment down below or be messaging me that never gave you a fair warning, because as usual, I did. So yeah, as usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rates. So basically, Up in the Air revolves around George Clooney's character Ryan Bingham. Basically, his job is that he goes around the United States and he fires people for a living. So yeah, kind of ironic when you think of it. His job is firing people. Um, Basically, he works for an agency, and he has to deal with people who are mentally unstable, or in the eyes of the company he's supposed to fire people, the people are mentally unstable, or the boss of that company just doesn't want to fire that person personally, so they hire people such as George Clooney's character to go over there and fire the person. Sometimes it's just not one person; it's multiple people, usually. But then you have Anna Kendrick's character, who is called Natalie Keener, and basically she has this new idea to basically lower costs of traveling. She has this idea of, instead of making it face to face, still make it face to face, but instead, make it face to computer. Basically, make it like a video chat type of thing. Um, Her theory is that less people, first off, there'd be less expenses because you won't have to send as many people to travel anymore, and at some point at all, and also it'll be less dangerous for the actual person. George Clooney's character doesn't really like the idea, so he really doesn't like the idea because traveling is basically his life, because he's trying to get this certain goal. He's trying to get a certain goal. He's trying to accomplish it, and if the idea goes through, he'll lose basically. Well, he'll lose his goal, and he'll really have no purpose for traveling anymore. So yeah, so he basically takes Natalie Keener again and Anna Kendricks under his wings, and also in response to the boss, to kind of show her the ways of firing people, and yeah, that's basically it. Also George Clooney's character, he finds love, and throughout the film he finds this woman. He At first it was just a friend with benefits, but he eventually gets to know her and falls in love with her. Come to find out that she is actually married. So yeah, right. I thought that was how friends with benefits worked. Sometimes it worked. Two friends, one of them or maybe both of them are married, something like that. Isn't I thought he would have known that by now, considering he is like 50 years old. Actually, no, he was like late 40s by the time this film came out. So yeah, but the character was about late 40s, early 50s. You know what I mean? So yeah, um, yeah, this was a pretty good movie. They say that this is Anna Kendrick's breakout role, or at least one of them, along with Pitch Perfect. And I could definitely see as to why some people would consider this her breakout role, or one of them, to say the least. I mean, it's very well done in my opinion. And the plot as a whole is pretty interesting. I do kind of want to know though, is if that's a real job, firing people. I wonder if that's an actual job, because if it is, that'd just be crazy. Um, so yeah. Um, okay, so there's a montage. There's this one part in halfway through the movie where it's just a montage of people getting fired. And apparently, from what I read, that's people's actual reaction. George Clooney and Anna Kendrick, they weren't face to face when firing with these people. These people were actually fired, and there's like a hidden camera or something, and the reactions were filmed. So yeah, I mean that's pretty interesting in my opinion. Um, but honestly, if someone like George Clooney or Anna Kendrick came up to my work of my job or something and said that I'm fired, I'd probably take it and whatever. I'd probably be like, fuck, but whatever. So yeah. Okay, now to some actual reviewing. Overall, it is actually a pretty good movie. The acting, especially for Anna Kendrick, is pretty well done. George Clooney, he's actually a pretty good actor. Zach Galifianakis, he was in it for like 5 minutes or something. His scene was pretty funny. Jenny McBride, she was pretty funny throughout the whole film. But also serious, which was also pretty cool to see. Some of the Jason Bateman, he was pretty good in the film, and then some of the other key actors in the film, Vera Farmiga, Amy Morton, and Melanie Lynskey. I've never heard of them, but they did an okay job in my opinion. They're pretty good. So yeah, the writing is pretty good in my opinion. So yeah, I do however think there were a few slow scenes, a few scenes that could have maybe been cut or taken out. Because this movie's about 2 hours long, I think, or just about 2 hours long, if I'm not mistaken. And it seems a little bit long due to some of these slow scenes. It seems a bit longer than it should be due to the slow scenes. And it really just makes it lag or something. So it's not. It could have been improved in that aspect. That cut some scenes down, maybe take out some scenes. So yeah, I also do like how throughout the whole film, George Clooney is just a complete douchebag, a complete asshole to Anna Kendrick's character. It's just funny to see. But you do see his evolution from douchebag to not so much of a douchebag. I mean, at the end of the film, he's still a douchebag, just not that much of a douchebag. So yeah, that's the funny part. I mean, he's basically a douchebag throughout the whole film, but he's a huge ass douchebag at the beginning and not that much of a douchebag at the end. So it is pretty funny to see that complexity of a character, that character development. I really did like it. Overall, it was a pretty good movie, well acted, well written. Some scenes could have been shortened, in my opinion, because it felt like 2 hours long or something like that, or a little less than 2 hours. But it did feel a bit longer than it should have, in my opinion, due to some of the slower scenes or longer scenes that could have definitely been cut. The writing, there's a few points where the writing could have been improved, most notably during the slower scenes, which again could have been cut. But aside from that, overall this movie was pretty good, pretty well done, pretty great. And I think this was nominated for something in 2009 or 2010. This thing came out in 2009, so it should have been nominated for something for the 2010 Oscars, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I know it was definitely nominated for something, if I'm not mistaken, but can't figure out what. Whatever. But overall, it was a pretty well done movie, and I really did enjoy it, in my opinion. This is one of those George Clooney movies that I've been wanting to see for a while, and I just happened to cross by it while watching TV, while like 5 minutes, and I'm like, shoot, I'm like, sure, whatever, I'll just watch it. So yeah, overall it was a pretty great watch. And yeah, on a rate from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I give this movie an 8 out of 10. It's a pretty good movie. Definitely do check it out, especially if you like air travel, George Clooney, or like some kind of fucked up job, like people firing other people. I mean, that's basically what his job was. So yeah, that's basically it for now. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and comic book reviews, so definitely do stay tuned for that. Besides that, comment down below on your thoughts on the movie. What are your thoughts on it? Comment on that down below. Let me know. Like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel March signing off.